service on W265DW at 100.9.
Dan Lieberman, ABC News, New York.
According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, COVID was the leading cause of death among people ages 35 to 54 in September. 10,000 workers at John Deere plants in 3 states on strike this morning. This UAW member says the company raked in profits during the pandemic while wages, hours, and benefits have all gotten worse for workers. He doesn't think they'll come to an agreement soon.
With such a percentage that's unhappy right now, it's going to be a hard task.
Hollywood behind-the-scenes employees are also planning to strike on Monday if no deal is reached. Marissa Shipley is a member of IATSE, the International Alliance of Theater Stage Employees.
Our hours are really grueling, and we need not just rest between the workdays and over the weekend, but an actual meal break during the day.
Social Security recipients will be getting 5% more in their checks soon. That's the biggest cost of living increase in nearly 40 years. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
At least 46 people killed overnight in Taiwan when a fire broke out in a 13-story apartment building. Football Hall of Famer Brett Favre now ordered to pay over $800,000 to his home state of Mississippi. He's accused of being paid for speaking events he never attended as part of a scam involving misspent welfare aid. An off-duty New York City police officer accused of shooting 2 people, killing one of them. Investigators say Officer Yvonne Wu admitted she and her girlfriend shot at her and another woman. This woman, Valerie Wares, was nearby.
I saw them put the woman in the car that they arrested, and she seemed very calm.
One of the 2 women was killed. The other is expected to survive. More earthquakes on the island of La Palma as a volcano that has been swiping and spewing lava for weeks continues to erupt. One, a magnitude 4.5 quake, the strongest since the eruption started. And final boarding call ever for a nearly 75-year-old airline.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Alitalia welcomes you. An airline announcement that will be made for the last time today. After 74 years, Alitalia's planes will stop taking to the skies, one of the last national holdouts against deregulation, low-cost flights, high-speed trains, and mismanagement. Aviation expert Gregory Alleggi says Alitalia should have been grounded 20 years ago. But the defunct national airline will always hold a special place in the heart of Italians.
Many Italians refer to it as Mamma Alitalia.
Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
This is ABC News.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors, Bobcat zero-turn mowers, fantastic customer service, and the special Phil Sheehan seasonal discounts. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford is making dreams come true for folks who want the rest.
Hello and happy Thursday. We'll see another beautiful day ahead. A mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky for the afternoon. Warm temperatures as well, with highs today mainly in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight, in the low 60s Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see another mostly sunny sky. Warm again with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A cold front arrives on Saturday. It'll bring scattered showers, but then turning cooler and sunny for Sunday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And he ain't kidding when he's talking about it getting cooler for Saturday evening. Now, after a low Friday night of 65, 20-degree difference. Saturday night, lows 45. Sunday, sunny, highs around 70. Overnight lows around 40. Monday, highs around 70. Overnight lows around 45 under clear skies. For Tuesday, sunshine, highs around 70. Overnight lows around 45. And Wednesday, highs again around 70 to 75 degrees. 60 degrees right now to clear skies at 6 minutes past 7 o'clock. These are our morning death announcements. Norman Lee Melton, 86 of Ellenboro, passed away on Sunday at hospice. Funeral services will be at 2 o'clock today at the Corinth Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery with military honors accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Paget and King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for Norman Lee Melton. Wayne Morrow, 78 of Rutherfordton, passed away on October the 2nd. Visitation is today from 6 until 7 p.m. at Harrelson Funeral Home. A memorial service will be held at 7 o'clock, and military honors will be accorded on the grounds of the funeral home beginning at 7:30. Harrelson Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements for Wayne Morrow. Sophia Nadine Camp Payne, 49 of Rutherfordton, passed away October the 8th. Memorial services will be held at 2 o'clock on Friday at St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church. Crow's Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for Sophia Nadine Camp Payne. Joshua Wayne Messer, 29 of Rutherfordton, passed away on Saturday. A native of Dalton, Georgia, a visitation will be held tomorrow from 3 until 4 at the Village Chapel on Huntley Street in Forest City. Services will be private for the family. Crow's Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for Joshua Wayne Messer. David Henson, 76 of Ellenboro, passed away on Wednesday, October the 6th. His wife, Jean Ann Henson, 72, passed away on October the 2nd, both at Spartanburg Regional. A graveside service for the couple will be held on Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Alexander City Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for David and Jean Ann Henson. Earl McCurry, 85 of Lexington, formerly of Caroline, passed away on Monday, October the 11th, at Hospice of Davidson County. A graveside service will be held at 3 o'clock on Friday at the Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements for Earl McCurry. Curtis Babb Sr., 82 of Banner Elk, formerly of Rutherford County, passed away on Monday at Life Care of Banner Elk. No formal services will be held. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Curtis Babb Sr. Kathy Mae Buckner of Forest City passed away on Monday, October the 11th. A memorial service will be held at 5 o'clock Tuesday evening at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Washburn and Dorsey is in charge of the arrangements for Kathy Mae Buckner. Geraldine Nix, 86 of Forest City, passed away on Wednesday at Fairhaven in Ballstick. Funeral services will be at 12 noon on Tuesday at the Grace Creek Baptist Church. The family will receive friends in the Family Life Center 1 hour prior to the service at the church. Harrelson Funeral is in charge of the arrangements for Geraldine Nix. Roger Smith, 58 of Gilkey, passed away on October the 12th. No services will be held at this time. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Roger Smith. It's time now for the Bill O'Reilly.
At studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. Investors, Bill O'Reilly here. Are you sitting on capital or wanting to diversify? The NRIA Real Estate Development Fund provides returns right now. They capitalize on strategic markets. They offer payouts of 10% annualized returns plus bonuses up to 21%. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
On this Thursday, can you believe how fast President Biden has mucked things up? I mean, really, no joke. The country is hurting. I'm not being facetious. The border has collapsed. Crime out of control in many cities. Inflation roaring. Afghanistan embarrassing. Folks won't work. More than 4 million quit their jobs in August, largely because the federal government pays them welfare. Why work on the books when you get a monthly check? And then, if you want, you can work off the books. That's what's happening. So the economy is tottering, and Christmas is coming, but the geese are not getting fat because the geese can't get to the grocery store because there are not enough truck drivers or workers in the meat processing plants. Now, the Christmas deal is a crusher for President Biden. When people go out and realize they cannot get presents for their loved ones and friends, they're going to be teed off. And it's the Biden administration's fault. I can't wait to see how they're going to blame Trump for it. They'll try, but people pretty much have gotten the message. The Biden administration is failing. Now this. For most folks, getting out of an unused timeshare is a top priority. With the bill always around the corner, it's like rolling the dice. Lone Star Transfer has helped thousands of people just like you and me for over a decade. They'll get you out of your timeshare quickly, legally, and ethically, guaranteed. For a free consultation, please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066. 855-551-7066. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Charles Cantley was born in Texas in 1858. As a young man, he spent a short time with the Texas Rangers. Then he moved up to Silver City, New Mexico, and was hired on as a deputy sheriff. While Cantley and another deputy were guarding the jail, they were overpowered by 6 prisoners in jail for various reasons, including murder, stealing horses, and train robbery. The prisoners locked Cantley and the other deputy in a cell. A posse was hastily formed, and within a couple of hours, they caught some of the prisoners. Cantley wasn't able to leave with the posse, but when he caught up with them, the posse had 2 of the escapees prepared for a lynching. Cantley grabbed a rifle and yelled out that no one was going to be lynched as long as he was armed. So the posse quickly overcame Cantley, disarmed him, and finished the lynching. Cantley continued as a deputy sheriff until 1890, when he was elected the town marshal of Silver City, a job he held for 5 terms. But the pressure of the job started getting to him, and he started getting deep in the bottle. When he drank, Cantley was aggressive. Then, the evening of October 10, 1895, Cantley was in his usual state, drunk, when he started arguing with attorney James Fielder in the White House saloon. Finally, Cantley challenged Fielder to go for his gun. When nothing happened, Cantley drew his own gun and fired 2 shots. They hit no one. Fielder then drew his gun and fired it twice, killing Marshal Cantley. A sad ending for a good lawman. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James has added 2 new sandwiches to his already delightful menu, along with the fresh-cooked burgers, sandwiches, fresh salads, hot dogs made to order. Now try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. Both come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford, or call 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express. Coming up on 16 minutes past 7 o'clock at WCAB, and it's time to start the call-around portion of the morning report. And we start off first with the Sheriff's Department, and we have the Sheriff on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Lou. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How about you?
I am not going to complain.
I am waiting on lunchtime. That bacon and chicken and lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, that sounds good.
Well, you're about to talk me into it as well. It does sound good.
What you got to report this morning?
Within the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 155 calls for service. There have been 18 arrests processed at county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 183. Among those arrested, Dustin Vernon Lauder, 38-year-old male of Marion, was charged with trafficking in meth, breaking and entering, possession of Schedule 1, and possession of Schedule 6, narcotics, and received a $51,000 secure bond. Alicia Danielle Epley, 19-year-old female of Rutherford, charged with possession of Schedule 2 and received a $4,000 secure bond. Brooklyn Denise Carter, 20-year-old female of Spartanburg, was charged with possession of heroin and received a $5,000 secure bond. Anya McAlee Washington, 20-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with communicating threats and assault and received a $1,000 secure bond. Riley Adara Mode, 19-year-old female of Mooresville, was charged with larceny of a firearm, obtained property with false pretense and larceny, and received a $5,000 secure bond. Shadrach Dion Hines, 41-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Chad Lee Price, 48-year-old male, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond, and that charge was out of Buncombe County. Pasha Danielle Whitesides, 29-year-old female resident, was charged with assault and injury to property. We'll see a district court judge for bond. Bryson Allen Riley Conley, 21-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear of the felony version and received a $45,000 secure bond. Mary Catherine McFarland, 32-year-old female of Union Mills, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Keenan Jarrell Ramsey, 29-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Victoria Inez Jacobs, 43-year-old female of Rutherford, was charged with felony failure to appear and misdemeanor failure to appear and received an $8,100 secure bond. Robert Dean Fowler, 33-year-old male of Union Mills, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, possession of meth, drug paraphernalia, 3 counts of failure to appear, and probation violation, and received a $70,000 secure bond. Anthony Shane Parker, 42-year-old male of Marion, was charged on felony failure to appear and received a $5,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had communicating threats and assault there at Pinkwood Drive, and this is where Anya Washington was taken into custody. We had a breaking and entering on Doggett Road. One of the trailers was broken into. It looks like a 27-inch flat-screen TV was taken in that incident, and also the residence had been ransacked. And we had a larceny of a dog on Mack Road, approximately 3 a.m. this morning. Occupants of the residence saw 2 white males, one carrying a flashlight and one leading the dog through the woods from the residence. They cut the chain of the runner that the Great Dane was on. And it is a black and white dog, so I'm very upset about that. And someone came into someone's backyard and took their Great Dane, again, a black and white Great Dane. They're off of Mack Road in Mooresboro. And that's what we had to report today.
Now, Sheriff, the first 3 names that you mentioned, that was part of that trespassing complaint that wound up in being a drug arrest, correct?
It wasn't more than a trespass complaint. We'd had there on Switzer Drive off 221 South, we'd had complaints of drug use and possible drug sales. We're able to locate the owner of the property, and actually several of those folks had been squatting there. We also made 2 arrests at that location the day prior. One was Walter Ashley Littlejohn had jumped and ran from us, and he had a parole violation with no bond. So there's been 4 good felony arrests, another misdemeanor arrest out of that residence, and then the owner of the property boarded it up yesterday, and very appreciative of him assisting us and trying to take care of that issue there.
Well, good. Congratulations for that, cleaning up that mess.
It was a mess, no doubt.
Sheriff, you have a good day and have a safe day, and we'll be talking to you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. 21 minutes past 7 o'clock from the Sheriff's Department. We head to 911, and hopefully one day I'll have her doing some commercials one day. Got Amanda on the phone. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning.
She can do some quick talking. Let me tell you now, this girl, she could almost be an auctioneer. What you got to report, Amanda?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 397 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 58 for the emergency medical services, 155 for the Sheriff's Office, 99 for Forest City, 6 for Lake Lure, 40 for Rutherfordton, and 71 for Spindale. Cliffside Fire Department had a vehicle fire. Ellenboro had a structure fire assisted by Cliffside and Sandy Mush. Lake Lure had a power line fire. Rutherfordton had a structure fire, and SDO had a motor vehicle crash, and that is all.
All righty, Amanda. You'd be good, perfect to do those commercials at the end, like where they say it so fast that you can't really understand what they're saying.
I'll have to try that one day.
Yeah, try that out one day. You have a good day. We'll talk to you again soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197.
And we head to the SDO area and check on Ruby Taylor this morning. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay.
Nice, cool morning. Beautiful morning.
Yeah.
What you got to report this morning?
Well, the fire department had one vehicle accident, and on my birthday calendar, I've got Debbie Adkins and Furman Pardon having birthday today, and Mr. and Miss Betty Riggs having anniversary, and hope these people have a nice day. Signs are in their legs today and going to the feet tomorrow. And Lou, that's all I got.
All righty, Ruby. You have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Well, while Todd's getting Gary Wilson, I'm going to tell you about the Washburn store. You know, when you talk Washburn store, we tell you can find just about anything at Washburn store. And so to make it easy, we just put it in alphabetical order. You can get candy, cups and caps, bales, bulbs, bottles, corn seed, cornmeal, corn chillers, mayonnaise, marbles, measuring cups, pots, pans, popcorn poppers, lamps, lamp oil and lanterns, dippers, dishpans, diet drinks, straw hats, shovels, signs, hot ginger ale, mild ginger ale, diet ginger ale, toy wagons, toy tractors, tomatoes in season, and that delicious hoop cheese. Well, I kind of got a little bit out of the alphabet. Also, they got those pointer overalls, and if they don't have your size, they can get it for you. If you want it, they got it, or they'll try to find it at the Washburn store on the Bostic Sunshine Highway in the Washburn community. Checking in at Fairfield Fire Department, Gary Wilson this morning. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Can't complain. Can't complain about the weather, that's for sure.
Oh, no. I'm not going to say one word.
It's going to be up in the low 80s today and tomorrow, and then going to make a pretty good change for the weekend. It'll be about a 20-degree difference in the highs and the lows, so it'll really feel like fall this weekend. But it's that time of year, and we're getting a lot of people around in the county. We got a lot of tourists and visitors up in here, and I know it's countywide. Yesterday's traffic seemed to be pretty heavy, so I think we got a lot of visitors in town. I hope they'll enjoy the fall season, because it's going to be a pretty one, looks like.
Well, I noticed that yesterday morning coming to work at 15 after 5. There was a lot of traffic out yesterday morning. Now, this morning, wasn't anybody.
Everywhere I went yesterday. I was in town yesterday, and Rutherford, Spindale, and Forest City, and back up through Lake Lure and around and about and up toward Old Fort, and everywhere I went, it looked like it was heavy traffic. So that's a good sign that we got people in town and spending money and keeping the economy going.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And overnight, we've been quiet as far as fire calls go up on this end of the county, and sitting on about 60 degrees this morning, and sun trying to come out. We're going to have another pretty day today. Yeah, that's about all we got up here. Everything else going on pretty good, Lou.
All righty, Gary. Well, you have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you
All right. Bye-bye.
Cheryl, I've been talking to Tommy and David, the outside salesmen at Henson Building Materials in Forest City. They're going to help us navigate through our remodeling project.
Well, I know they have tons of experience, so we'll be in good hands.
Good hands is right. Even professional builders shop there because they trust the quality products and service.
And did you know they have a great relationship with our community, too? Oh, they're so nice.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Well, we're going to check in with DeVern Upton at the Ballstick Fire Department. I think she just answered the phone. Todd's getting her locked into the line for me, and we'll see what's going on. What's going on in Ballstick? Good morning, DeVern.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
We have 61 degrees over here in Ballstick. Very beautiful morning. I think we're going to have some cooler weather towards the weekend. I have no calls to report from the fire department. Everything's going smooth over here in Boston.
Okay, well, good. You help you make everybody behave, and we'll talk to you again later.
Okay, thanks. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Well, let's check in and see what Cousin Bob's doing this morning. Morning, Bob.
Well, we're doing just fine up here on this Thursday morning. You're sounding mighty good this morning.
Well, thank you. I've had my coffee, or I'm having my coffee. So I'm getting there.
Oh, well, you're getting there. Okay. But look like we're going to have another nice day up here. A little warm for this time of year, but we'll take it because it looks like it's going to start cooling off a little bit. So, but that'll feel more like fall of the year. Make the leaves turn quicker there, maybe. Be pretty.
Oh, yeah.
And Lou, up here with the fire department, we've answered a couple medical calls. Hadn't had any fire wreck call. Want to say happy birthday to Skylar Sheehan and Lib Sinclair this morning. And that's about it up here in their neck of the woods. So far this morning, everything's running on good and quiet up here.
Well, good. That's good to hear when everything's good and quiet.
Yes, ain't too much going on, so. But we'll take it, won't we?
Yep, we'll take it.
But see, that's about it up here, Lou. And you take care and tell your mama hi for me over there.
I will. You and Imogene have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale. Well, we got a lot of cooler temperatures coming our way if we can get through today and tomorrow with temperatures around 85. Then by Saturday, look for temperatures around 75, dropping to 65 by Sunday. We're in the Cherry Mountain area. Got Sue Price on the phone. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Lou.
How is it going this morning so far?
Well, so far it's going all right, I think.
Good.
It's like the sun's about to come up, and we'll have another pretty day. Got some cool weather coming up, though, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I don't have any birthdays on my calendar and nothing on First Broads. Fairview's got a birthday for Jimmy Sursland, so I hope Jimmy's going to have a good day today. And in my announcements, the Cedar Grove Church will host Servants' Voices for a Sunday night singing on October 17th. The singing begins at 6 p.m. You can come inside or you can listen in your car in the parking lot, tuned to 87.9 FM. After the singing, refreshments will be served in the fellowship hall. Everyone's welcome, and the church is located where Whiteside Road joins Bostic Sunshine Highway. So I'm sure they'll have a good turnout for that. It's good to have singings to announce again. It's been a time when we didn't have anything going on.
It's been a long dry spell.
Yes, it has. I'm glad it's picking up some. I don't know, no virus is still out there, but looks like we're going to have to live with it. And I guess that's all I got this morning, Lou. It's just quiet and calm over here looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
All righty, Sue. You too, you and Richard, have a good one, and we'll talk to you again in the morning.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
And Todd is getting the drop-in on the phone for us. And while we're waiting on that, coming up on Friday night, we've got high school football Friday night. Our featured game of the week, Thomas Jefferson at Cherryville, 7 o'clock countdown to kickoff, 7:30 kickoff. And you can hear that game right here on WCAB. Well, she looks like he's having to call him back. So let's give you a rundown on some of the other games that being played in the area. Thomas Jefferson, of course, at Cherryville. That is our featured game of the week. Chase will be at Polk County. Asheville AC Reynolds will be at RS Central. McDowell will be at Asheville High School. East Gaston at Burns, Gastonia Forest View at Crest, and Bessemer City will be at Shelby. Brevard at Morgan Patton, and Hendersonville has an open date. Also coming up this weekend, we've got Atlanta Braves baseball. Don't have the time yet. Now, we do know that Game 1 for the divisional playoffs will be on Saturday, then Game 2 will be Sunday. Now, coming up on Saturday, we've also got Tar Heel football. We've got the Tar Heels in Miami. Airtime will be 1:30 for the pregame, 2:30 countdown, 3:30 kickoff. And then Braves baseball, still don't have the time on it yet. Hopefully we'll know before the end of the day. And then Sunday, they will play Game 2. Still waiting to get the drop-in on the phone this morning. And let's see what else I can tell you about. There is a senior silver alert issued for a Grover woman. The North Carolina Center for Missing Persons has issued a silver alert for Harley Leanne O'Connor. And this was on Sunday. She is age 20, 5'7", white female, weighs about 200 pounds, believed to be suffering from dementia or some other cognitive disability. She was last seen in Grover on Cleveland Avenue. Anyone with any information, no known way of travel, how she's traveling, or which way she may have gone, Harley Leanne O'Connor is her name, and you can call Chase Valero at the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office at 704-484-4822. Still waiting to get the drop-in on the phone. See what else come up with here. Human remains were found in a wooded area in Drexel over the weekend. We'll tell you more about that during the 8 o'clock news hour. Also, Morganton officers are looking for a woman who was last seen on Saturday. Amber Joy Zarimba, she's 37, 5'1", white female, blonde hair, blue eyes, weighs about 130 pounds, according to a Facebook post from the Morganton Department of Public Safety. Zarimba was last seen around 5 o'clock on Saturday at Taco Bell on Berkmont Avenue in Morganton. She told the person who reported her missing that she was trying to get a ride to Hickory, but it's unclear what clothing that she was wearing at the time. Anyone with any information about her is please asked to call the Morganton Police Department Investigator Story at 828-437-1211. Well, we'll be back after this.
You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records, and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you, so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled A-R-Y-E-E.
Be the one.
Howe, first down and more. Goodbye. Magical play by Sam Howe.
This is the home of Carolina football.
And it's intercepted. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win. Right, that bell tower blue.
Catch live coverage of the Tar Heels all season long, right here on your home for Carolina football.
And join us for the Tar Heels right here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
When the doctor told us about my mom's cancer, it made me feel so helpless. Until I called the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and spoke with Grace, who answered all of my questions about the disease, treatment options, and cancer-related expenses. Her support and compassion made us feel whole again. Today, I'm calling Grace to let her know my mom is beating cancer. To learn more, visit lls.org.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Are you over the age of 60 and been diagnosed with lung cancer? If so, you and your family may qualify for a cash award. We can help make sure that you and your family are financially safe and medical expenses are covered. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer and are over 60, call 24/7, 1-800-893-4016, 1-800-893-4016. Attorney advertising. William Steppacker Jr. is the attorney responsible for this ad. Main office, Granton, Pennsylvania. May not be available in all states.
Well, we cannot get through to anybody at the drop-in, and they would answer, and then they'd hang up on Todd. So we just going to go on and check in Shingle Hollow, and we've got Tina with us this morning. Good morning, Tina.
Hey, Lou.
How are you this morning?
I am doing wonderful this morning.
Good.
I bet they're busy over there selling those biscuits that's drop-in.
They must be, because I smell well, no, I think that's what Todd brought in.
Well, it is a beautiful morning already here in Shingle Hollow. It is 60 degrees on the front porch. Sun is coming over my neighbor's house, and it's just so beautiful watching the sunrise. The fire departments have been all quiet. Thankful for that. Calm, and we like it when they're around, but don't have to go out and fight some fires. Well, this Saturday, Green Hill Baptist Church is having a community-wide yard sale. So everyone is invited to come out, and they can also bring some stuff and sell it. If they want to do that, they can contact Rosemary at 289-4885. The yard sale is from 8 a.m. to 12. Come find you a treasure. And then that afternoon, from 4 to 8, Mountain Creek Baptist Church is having a barbecue. We have pulled pork barbecue with baked beans, hush puppies, potato salad, barbecue slaw, and homemade desserts. $10 for adults, $5 for children, and they have hot dogs and chips for kids as well. So that is Saturday from 4 to 8 at Mountain Creek Baptist Church. And then Pilgrim Way Baptist Church is having a 5th Saturday morning youth meeting. That will be Saturday, October 30th at 10 a.m. Brother Todd McKeon and Brother Jacob McKeon. And they're going to have a combined youth choir, and a meal is afterwards. Everyone's invited, young and old, to come enjoy this and be a part of the youth meeting. And that's all I have this morning.
All right, Tina. Well, you have a good day today, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay, you too,
All
Lou.
right.
And everybody be safe.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Pass it on. This time of upheaval is causing me to look a little deeper inside myself, looking for some goodness. And this is what I've found. I'm more aware of my neighbor's well-being. I'm saying thanks to those who help keep my life as normal as possible. My mail carrier, my grocery cashier, my delivery person. I find myself caring about others instead of just looking out for myself. And oh, my goodness, does it feel good. Goodness is in you. Pass it on. From passiton.com.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. Can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters need them. We look out for the helpers because they look out for us. Thank you, first responders! Thank you, first responders!
Learn how you can help first responders by texting BRAVE to 24365.
16 minutes before 8 o'clock, and we're at the drop-in, and we've got Jessica. Hey, you there?
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm all right. We've been pretty busy this morning. Everybody come on down and see us this morning at the Drop-In Family Market. We got breakfast a-cooking. We got bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, sausage biscuits, liver mush biscuits. I've got Hunter's liver mush this morning, so if anybody likes Hunter's liver mush, I cooked some Hunter's liver mush this morning, so come on down and see us. Keep in mind we have a meat department. We have ordered some spiral sliced ham for the holidays, so we're trying to get ready for the holidays coming up. We got ham, some spiral hams, and we got some turkeys. So if you're looking for anything like that, come on down and see us. Our truck come in yesterday morning, so we got fresh produce, fresh milk. Our hours are going to change come Friday. We will be still opening up at 6 o'clock, but we are going to start closing again at 9 o'clock. The store will close starting Friday evening at 9 o'clock again. So the hours starting Friday will be from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and the deli will be closing at its normal time once again, so it'll be 7 o'clock. So everybody come on down and see us, and hopefully we have what you need. Also, everybody keep in mind, we are still hiring. All drop-in stores are hiring for deli position, cashier position, so keep that in mind. If you are looking for a job, go by the main office and fill your application out, or you can also come by and see me personally yourself. Just ask for Jessica or maybe even Audrey. So everybody come on down if you are looking for a job. We are really needing some help. So, and we do ask for experience, but if you don't have experience, that is perfectly fine. I am willing to train.
I think that's
So
I think that's
forward to-
everybody. I think that's all over the county. Everybody needs help.
Yes, ma'am, most definitely. But
even here.
hopefully, oh yeah. So we look forward to seeing you, and I hope everybody has a good day.
Okay, you too, and don't
Thanks.
work too hard.
Try not to.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Pass it on.
This time of upheaval is causing me to look a little deeper inside myself, looking for some goodness. And this is what I've found. I'm more aware of my neighbor's well-being. I'm saying thanks to those who help keep my life as normal as possible. My mail carrier, my grocery cashier, my delivery person. I find myself caring about others instead of just looking out for myself. And oh, my goodness, does it feel good. Goodness is in you.
Pass it on.
From passiton.com.
They'll challenge your authority because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, and in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
Coming up on 12 minutes before 8 o'clock and heading toward Brenda Kelly Mountain. Morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this tremendous Thursday morning?
Oh, there's 1,000 stars, thousand stars in the sky when I came out this morning.
I bet it was pretty, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was beautiful.
I was going to go out and look at them, but I got a phone call, and so I was on the phone for a while, and then I forgot about it.
Oh, usually when you get something, phone call that early, hope nothing was wrong.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
People know I get up early, and they call me.
Oh, okay,
Just
good.
to talk.
Oh, okay, good.
So, no, it was my sister from down at Gastonia. She called, and we talked. But we hope everybody's having a good day. I've got 56 degrees on the front porch. I don't have but one birthday today. That's my little great-granddaughter, Carly Friday. She'll be 5 years old today, so happy birthday, Carly. And then in ways of announcements, we got a Fall Fest at the Mills, October the 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is at Union Mills. 60-plus vendors, food trucks, family fun. Come and support small businesses. So far, that's all I know of going on. And time's short. You better go down to Ellenburg and check on Luther.
I got time. What does she call you? Granny, Meemaw, or what?
Nanny B.
Nanny B. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I wanted to be called Granny.
Uh-huh.
My first grandchild, which is her daddy, could not say his R's, so he called me Nanny. And he had a bunch of grandmas at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He had grandmas and great-grandmas, and I think he had one great-great. And so I said, just call me Nanny then. So he called me Nanny. They call me Nanny B, all of them. That's what they call me.
Oh, that's sweet. All righty, Nanny B. Well, you have a good day today, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Catch you later.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Attention all women who have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. In February and May 2016, Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $72 million and $55 million by 2 juries to 2 women who contracted ovarian cancer after years of using talcum baby powder products. If you or a family member has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer and used talcum powder prior to the diagnosis, call Talcum Powder Help Now today at 800-831-1745. 800-831-1745. That's 800-831-1745.
10 minutes before 8 o'clock, and there we go. And it's time to say good morning to Luther Gilligan. Good morning, Luther.
Good morning, Lou. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Having a good time. Drinking coffee, watching the sun come up.
Already had your biscuit?
Working on it.
Ah, okay.
Been quiet this morning. Doesn't go on this morning. The fire department there, she called yesterday. They had one medical call yesterday afternoon. Then last night they had one controlled burn. Somebody called it in as a house fire, but when I got there, just man been cutting some brush. He was burning this. So they come around, come on back. And other than that, things are quiet this morning. Just not a whole lot happening. So you have a great day up there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All righty, Luther. Have a good one.
Take care now.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, that's all the news from around the county, from the Sheriff's Department all the way to Ellenboro. Well, you can get your birthdays and anniversaries called in, 287-3356. That's the number to call. And you know all about the delectable Granny B Daylight Donuts, but Granny B's has something different on the menu now. Not only do they have those Daylight Donuts and those delicious sub sandwiches, now they have pizzas. You heard me right. They've got pizzas. You can choose from 13 different combinations. So what's your preference? Is it one all the way, just a plain cheese? Do you like pineapple and ham? Well, order Tuesday through Thursday from 9 until 8. And the number is 286-9012. Once you have a Granny B's pizza, you will never go back to the others. And it's okay to leave a little bit of room for one of those Granny B Daylight Donut pizzas. Granny B's is located on West Main Street in Spindale.
Happy birthday.
Well, celebrating birthdays today, Gregory Short. Gregory is 27 today. He lives in Forest City. Mark Short, is that his daddy? Okay. Well, 2 Shorts are celebrating birthdays today. We have Gregory Short, 27, and Mark Short, he's 59. Mark lives in Ellenboro. Henry McNeely is 3 today. He lives in Sunshine. Those famous people celebrating birthdays today, Usher, R&B singer, he's 43 today, and Ralph Lauren, the designer and all the good smelling perfume and men's colognes. Ralph Lauren celebrating a birthday today. And in 1957, the number 1 song, the Everly Brothers' Wake Up Little Susie, went to number 1. 1964, Martin Luther King won the Nobel Peace Prize. And in 1773, that was the beginning of the Revolutionary War. 1995, the Atlanta Braves become the first team to sweep the National League, and we're waiting on the times for the Atlanta Braves games. Hopefully we'll get that in today when the Braves will be playing this weekend. Well, we're going to say goodbye to our streaming folks for just a few minutes. We'll be back with you in just a little bit. But if you didn't get your birthday or anniversary called in, that's okay. We wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Coping 19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
With everything going on, there may be times you feel like you can't handle it all. Journaling, meditating, and talking with friends and family can help you feel more grounded and better able
Across the country, workers on strike or threatening to walk off the job. The labor market shifting as employees demand better working conditions along with higher pay and benefits. ABC's Terry Moran has more on tractor maker John Deere.
10,000 workers at John Deere hit the picket lines in Iowa, Illinois, and Kansas. They argue that even as the agricultural equipment company's profits grew by 61% in recent years, and as their CEO's salary grew by 160% during the pandemic, their pay has actually been cut.
Workers at cereal maker Kellogg's are also on strike, and members of the International Association of Theater Stage Employees, behind-the-scenes workers in Hollywood movies and TV shows, are threatening to walk off the job Monday if there's no deal with producers. Jonas Loeb is an IATSE spokesperson.
We have excessively unsafe and harmful working hours. We have unlivable wages for our lowest paid crafts, a consistent failure to provide reasonable rest during meal breaks, but also in between work days and on weekends.
The FDA could be only weeks away from approving Pfizer's COVID shot for children ages 5 to 11. Also under review today whether people who got the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson shots need boosters.
It's going to be complicated. It doesn't sound like the J&J booster may be as effective as the other mRNA. So we'll just have to wait and see what the FDA decides.
ABC medical contributor Dr. Yvonne Maldonado. An attack in the suburbs of Oslo, Norway, but the weapon wasn't a gun, it was a bow and arrow.
Police in Norway are now interrogating the man accused of launching that brutal bow and arrow attack last night. 5 people were killed and 2 injured when just after 6 o'clock in the evening, a man started firing arrows inside a store in a town south of the capital, Oslo.
ABC senior foreign correspondent James Longman. Firefighters in Taipei fighting a blaze in a 13-story building in Taiwan that killed at least 46. This is ABC News.
There's a lot of confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID, with guidelines and regulations changing by the week. You need an accurate thermometer for your family to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and the chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
The tight labor market showing up in schools across the country. Some places like San Francisco, administrators are filling in as subs. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi says
state education officials in Oregon, desperate to hire more substitute teachers, will no longer require subs to have a college degree. Emergency substitute teacher licenses will now be issued, with the only requirements being that candidates must be 18 or older and pass a background check.
Weeks before world leaders meet in Scotland to try to map out a course to fight climate change, a future King of England says,
if we're not careful, we're robbing from, our children's future, what we do now.
Prince William speaking to the BBC. President Biden's envoy on climate, John Kerry, now admitting next month's talks will likely end with the nations of the world still short of the cuts in emissions needed to slow climate change. Sentencing day for real estate heir Robert Durst after his conviction of murdering his best friend. He faces a mandatory sentence of life without parole. A wildfire eating through parts of Santa Barbara County, California, now growing to over 15,000 acres. It's still just 5% contained and threatening the Ronald Reagan Ranch. With the volcano on the island of La Palma still erupting after nearly a month, drones are being put to work to help dogs. The drones have been used to fly food and water into dogs trapped by the lava flow. The area is too dangerous to try to move in there and get the dogs out by the human method. This is ABC News.
You love Zoom for video meetings? Now, choose Zoom to power your phone communications too. Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system. Zoom Phone's secure HD audio and enterprise-grade reliability keep you connected to your teams and your customers. And it's easy to use on mobile, desktop, or desk phone. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Zoom. How the world connects.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're seeing some patchy fog for your morning commute. Otherwise, a mostly clear start to your day. This afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky with highs today warmer back in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight. We're in the low 60s Friday morning. We'll see a mostly sunny sky for Friday afternoon plans. Even warmer with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A strong fall cold front brings scattered showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Now, after those showers move out on Saturday, we got some beautiful, beautiful cool weather headed our way. Looking for lows Saturday night around 45 degrees. Then for Sunday, sunshine, highs around 70, overnight lows around 40. For Monday, highs again around 70 under sunny skies, overnight lows around 45. Tuesday, sunny, highs around 75, overnight lows around 50. And then Wednesday, highs around 70, overnight lows around 45 degrees. So our daytime highs after Saturday are going to be what our lows are right now. Right now we are at 60 degrees and sun's still trying to make it over the mountains here in Ruth. Still not quite made it yet. Still a little patchy fog in the area, so do be careful. 6 minutes past 8 o'clock. Got a lot of news coming your way. Plus that sheriff's report, and that's all coming up after this. So what's the new Medicare Advantage benefits for 2022? Can you get up to $148.50 of the Medicare Part B premium put back in your Social Security check? Do you qualify for all the benefits you're seeing advertised on TV? Do not call that number on your television screen and work with someone that you're never going to meet. Call the professional services of Tim Freshour. He's a local guy who will help you get everything you're entitled to. Tim can come by your home or do it remotely if you're concerned about safety. Representing plans from AARP, United Healthcare, Aetna, Cigna, Humana, WellCare, and more. Call Tim Freshour today to answer all your Medicare questions. 828-302-2303. Taking a look at news from some of our reporters and taking some story from the Daily Courier. A woman continues to cling to life after a head-on collision on Tuesday afternoon. Another woman was ejected from the bed of a truck. A 49-year-old woman from Shelby was airlifted to Spartanburg Regional Medical Center after she crossed the center line and slammed into an oncoming pickup truck. Another 56-year-old woman was airlifted to the hospital after she was thrown from the back of the other truck. Both are in critical condition, according to Trooper J.R. Carver of the North Carolina Highway Patrol. Carver declined to release the names of the victims at this time. The Shelby woman was driving southbound on US 221A in a 2001 Dodge Dakota pickup truck when she crossed the center line and hit a northbound 2016 Dodge Ram head-on. She was pinned in the wreckage, Carver said. There were 6 passengers in the Dodge Ram, including 2 riding in the bed of the truck. Other than the 2 victims airlifted, all of the other victims were taken to the hospital by EMS, Carver added. All of those in the Dodge Ram live in Ellenboro. The 2:30 afternoon crash occurred near the Cliffside Volunteer Fire Department. Well, Forest City voters are guaranteed to see at least one new face on the town council after this year's municipal election. 4 candidates have filed for the impending vacancy for 2 seats on the board, with Commissioner David Eaker opting not to seek re-election. His vacancy means at least one of the 2 seats will be occupied by a new commissioner. Incumbent Sean Moore hopes to keep his seat on the council, but a defeat would translate into 2 new faces. In addition to Moore seeking re-election, Dr. John Mark Bennett, a former school board member, Keisha McDowell, and Taisha Lawrence are among the hopefuls vying for the post. Moore, 50, has served on the council for 18 years, though not consecutively. McDowell, 47, contends that the city has not done enough at improving existing housing. She wants to see more housing codes and better policies to bolster homes that have otherwise fallen into disrepair. She said, I think we need to look at housing policies to make sure people are living in decent homes. This election marks McDowell's 3rd run at the council, and while she is optimistic about her bid, she's also excited about the guarantee of a new commissioner. Bennett is no stranger to serving on an elected board. He spent 20 years, 2000 to 2020, on the Board of Elections, serving 10 as board chairman. A lifelong resident of Forest City, founded the Forest City Family Medicine, where he still practices today. Just as he did for the school system, Bennett wants to continue to serve. He said, "I want to do more than anything I can to move the town forward. I'm at a time in my life where I think I can contribute." Bennett applauded town leaders for having put the town in an advantageous position with a solid foundation. Lawrence is the lone political newcomer of the candidates, this marking her first bid for an elected office. At 35, she's also the youngest. She notes that her age is an advantage in terms of representing voters. She said, "I feel that I can relate with the younger and older population throughout the town." She's employed by Monarch, a mental health provider, and she coaches at Chase High School. Now, like McDowell, Lawrence recognizes housing issues as the town's most glaring challenge. Between a lack of affordable housing and substandard housing, she wants to see improvements. Several candidates are on the ballot in Ellenboro. 4 names will be on the ballot to fill 3 alderman terms in Ellenboro: Lee Allen, Alan Bunt Black, Pam Paget, and acting mayor Liz Blanton. 3 of these are incumbent aldermen, while Black has previously served many years as mayor and as alderman. Incumbent Charles Smith is also running unopposed for an alderman's seat, an unexpired term ending in 2023. The 3 full alderman terms are technically competitive, as 4 people are vying for the seats, but the recent unexpected resignation of former Mayor Jim Ryan has altered the political landscape a bit. Blanton has indicated that her desire is to be mayor if the board makes her the official mayor, and she is still one of the top 3 vote getters in the alderman race. Blanton will have the option of choosing to be an alderman or remain as mayor. Black says he wants to see the town's money be used for the benefit of the people. Investing in the town is important, he said, while using the town funds wisely. Paget works closely with the town's water system, maintaining that the water system is one of the main issues right now. She said, "We have positions open relating to the water system. The new board will need to get to work filling those positions with appropriate people." Paget says her ability to listen, independence, and integrity will help make her an effective alderman. Incumbent Lee Allen is completing his 2nd term as Ellenboro alderman. Allen enjoys being an alderman and hopes to continue in that role. He says, "I'm an outgoing person. I like serving as alderman, and I think others are happy with the job that I'm doing. I haven't heard any complaints, and I believe that I am an effective member of the board." Allen has lived in Ellenboro for the past 20 years, retired from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. Incumbent Charles Smith faces no opposition in his race to complete the unexpired term ending in 2023. Smith is eager to continue serving as alderman and believes open communication with the citizens is the key to serving the public as well. Well, early voting, of course, does start today. And with this story, here's Todd Kaiser.
Local news story from right here in the county. From Spindale, there are 3 municipal election contests in the town of Spindale, but only one is competitive. Incumbent Commissioner Lou Gillum is challenged by Jennifer Cowan Spratt. Mayor Mickey Bland is running unopposed, and incumbent Commissioner Rosaline M. Francis and newcomer Ricky D. Ledbetter are running for 2 commissioner seats unopposed. Gillum was asked by the board to fill the seat left vacant when Commissioner James Hamilton unexpectedly died from COVID-19 complications. She was appointed to the seat in December of 2020. "I hope the family of James Hamilton is proud of the work that I've done," she said. "I had run for commissioner seat in 2019 and lost by 16 votes. I remained interested and eager to serve on the board, and the board decided to appoint me to the position." Gillum describes her time on the board as a learning experience. When I joined the board, the town was already in the midst of downtown streetscape project and was already working on budget issues, Gillum said. With the help of town manager Scott Webb, Mayor Mickey Bland, and other council members, I was brought up to speed on the details of what was going on. I am grateful for the help that I've been given by the other board members. Our board works very well together. Gillum says serving on the board during the COVID-19 pandemic has been rough at times and that they have dealt with a lot of changes, but she loves serving and wants to continue to do so. Gillum also went on to say that her parents both had businesses in Spindale, and she wants to see Spindale thrive as it once did. In 2023, Spindale will be 100 years old. Gillum is excited about her involvement with the planning for the town's official celebration. In the future, I want to continue to see downtown improve, she continued. The Thermal Belt Rail Trail puts Spindale in a unique position because it runs right through the heart of our downtown. The trail draws people to downtown. I hope eventually to see every building on Main Street full with businesses that are flourishing. Gillum said that she also wants to see neighborhood improvements, especially those near the old mill buildings on the north side of town. The town is a good place. I want to see Spindale grow, Gillum added. Gillum has spent the bulk of her career in the radio industry, which began in 1982. Since 1994, she has worked right here at WCAB in several roles, including program and music director and office manager. Despite numerous attempts, Spratt did not return messages seeking an interview for this story. That's our news out of Spindale this morning. Back to you.
Thank you, Todd. And this week's COVID-19 update showed an improvement with no new fatalities and a drop in the county's 14-day positivity rate. Rutherford County had 213 new cases over the last 7 days for a cumulative total of 11,076. The county's 14-day positivity rate decreased by 2% to 17%. Over the last 14 days, there have been 727 new cases, according to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. Rutherford's death toll remains at 293 since the pandemic began. Local vaccinations have also progressed, with 41% of the county's population having received at least one shot of the vaccine. Those who are fully vaccinated account for 38% of the state figures show. We'll have more news and that sheriff's report right after this. There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted experience and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1, 287-7117. Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket. 18 minutes past 8 o'clock. Here's that Sheriff's Report recorded earlier for broadcast at this time. With the Sheriff's Report is Sheriff Chris Francis.
Within the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 155, 18 arrests processed to county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 183. Among those arrested, Dustin Vernon Lauder, 38-year-old male of Marion, was charged with trafficking in meth, breaking and entering, possession of Schedule 1, and possession of Schedule 6 narcotics, and received a $51,000 secure bond. Alicia Danielle Epley, 19-year-old female of Rutland, was charged with possession of Schedule 2 and received a $4,000 secure bond. Brooklyn Denise Carter, 20-year-old female of Spartanburg, was charged with possession of heroin and received a $5,000 secure bond. Anya McAlee Washington, 20-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with communicating threats and assault and received a $1,000 secure bond. Riley Adara Mode, 19-year-old female of Mooresville, was charged with larceny of a firearm, obtained property with false pretense, and larceny and received a $5,000 secure bond. Shadrick Dion Hines, 41-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Chad Lee Price, 48-year-old male, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond, and that charge was out of Buncombe County. Pasha Danielle Whitesides, 29-year-old female resident, was charged with assault and injury to property. We'll see a district court judge for bond. Bryson Allen Riley Conley, 21-year-old male FRC, was charged with failure to appear of the felony version, received a $45,000 secure bond. Mary Catherine McFarland, 32-year-old female of Union Mills, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Keenan Jarrell Ramsey, 29-year-old male FRC, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Victoria Inez Jacobs, 43-year-old female resident, was charged with felony failure to appear and misdemeanor failure to appear and received an $8,100 secure bond. Robert Dean Fowler, 33-year-old male of Union Mills, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, possession of meth, drug paraphernalia, 3 counts of failure to appear and probation violation, and received a $70,000 secure bond. Anthony Shane Parker, 42-year-old male of Marion, was charged on felony failure to appear and received a $5,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had communicating threats and assault there at Pinkwood Drive, and this is where Anya Washington was taken into custody. We had a breaking and entering on Doggett Road. One of the trailers was broken into. It looks like a 27-inch flat screen TV was taken in that incident, and also the residence had been ransacked. And we had a larceny of a dog on Mack Road, approximately 3 a.m. this morning. Occupants of the residence saw 2 white males, one carrying a flashlight and one leading the dog through the woods from the residence. They cut the chain of the runner that the Great Dane was on. And it is a black and white dog, so I'm very upset about that. And someone came into someone's backyard and took their Great Dane, again, a black and white Great Dane, there off of Mack Road in Mooresboro. And that's what we had to report today.
We've got sports coming up in just a few minutes. Still in news, the Rutherford County Arts Council has announced upcoming events at the Maple Street Theater. On Saturday, October the 23rd, there will be a reception marking the 50th anniversary of the Art Council's work in the county. Refreshments will be provided, and all supporters and participants over the years are invited. The reception begins at 5:30 at the Maple Street Theater at 132 Maple Street in Rutherford. At 7 o'clock at the same venue, there will be a free performance by the U.S. Air Force Heritage of America Band as part of their Rhythm and Blue tour. The ensemble includes 11 instrumentalists and 1 vocalist, as well as sound technician. We are honored to present such an outstanding musical ensemble from one of our great military services, according to Arts Council representatives. Arrangements are also being made for live streaming coverage, which will be announced later. For admission to either event, call Marcia Daves, event manager, at 704-840-4314. Please provide your name and the number of admissions to which event that you would like to attend. Well, coming up on Friday night, we've got high school football Friday night. Our featured game of the week will be Thomas Jefferson at Cherryville. Countdown to kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. We'd have a 7:30 kickoff. And coming up on sports, a North Carolina woman who stabbed her 1-year-old daughter in front of an officer has been charged with attempted murder, police said. Sierra Dyer, 21, was immediately arrested Monday afternoon, according to a news release from the Greenville Police Department. Her child was taken to the hospital for treatment and is expected to make a full recovery. Officers responded to a Greenville apartment where Dyer was arguing with a family member over the custody of the 1-year-old. Police said Dyer was actively stabbing the child in the back. When an officer walked in and confronted her, she then dropped the knife. Dyer was also charged with felony child abuse, booked into the Pitt County Detention Center on a $1.5 million bond. Sports is next.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. NHL action was abound last night as the league opened the new season this week in a return to the traditional calendar, and it was a memorable night for the Washington Capitals in a 5-1 win against their division rival, the New York Rangers. Alex Ovechkin scored the 731st and 732nd goals of his career and passed Marcel Dion for sole possession of fifth place on the NHL's goal list, and it also puts him 2 steps closer to Wayne Gretzky. One game into a new 5-year contract, Ovi needs 160 goals to break the Great One's all-time scoring record that's been long considered unbreakable. Cap center TJ Oshie scored a goal and an assist in last night's win. He said Ovechkin is one of those special players that don't come around often.
That's a lot of goals. I mean, there's a lot of really good players that never even reach that many games. So it doesn't get old, and it really is special to be here for these milestones.
In other action, the Maple Leafs beat the Canadiens 2-1 in the opener for both of those teams. The shorthanded Colorado Avalanche doubled up on Chicago 4-2. The Avs were without Nathan McKinnon and head coach Jared Bednar, who were both in the COVID protocol and away from the team. Out west, the Oilers beat the Canucks 3-2 in a shootout, and the Ducks dumped the Jets 4-1. Tonight, the Hurricanes open their season at home versus the New York Islanders. It's been a long training camp and preseason. Head coach Rod Pridemore says they're ready to get to it.
Yeah, I think everybody is. I think it's it's fun to watch some games last night and then know that they count for real. And, you could see the good hockey. So I think we're all practiced out, so to speak, and guys want to play.
Puck drop between the Canes and Islanders at 7 o'clock from PNC Arena in Raleigh. Panthers head coach Matt Rule says Christian McCaffrey is a 50-50 decision for Sunday's game against Minnesota. C-Mac has missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury. The Panthers have lost both without him in the lineup. Rule thinks the decision will come right up to game time. This is NCN Sports.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops in 2020 and 2021. Our philosophy is simple. Be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
If you or someone you know has been the victim of a crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Services is here to provide support. The office provides a range of free, confidential services to help you regain yourself, receive compensation for damages incurred, protect yourself and your family, and move beyond the stigma of being victimized. Visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
Everybody expected a playoff series for the ages between the century-old rival Dodgers and Giants, and we've got what we wanted. The 2 best teams in baseball separated by just 1 win, and it will be just 1 win that decides who moves on to the NLCS. Tonight, Game 5 between the Dodgers and Giants in San Francisco. Dodgers going with Julio Urias, while the Giants send righty Logan Webb to the dish for tonight's Game 5. Urias started and won Game 2.
It's going to be one of those opportunities for me to go out there and do the things that I've been doing, but also try to strategize and plan the way that we want to attack these guys.
He's going against the Game 1 winner Webb, who held the Dodgers to 5 hits and 7 2/3 shutout innings. He also had 10 strikeouts in Game 1. First pitch, 9:07 Eastern tonight. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're seeing some patchy fog for your morning commute. Otherwise, a mostly clear start to your day. This afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky with highs today warmer back in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight. We're in the low 60s Friday morning. We'll see a mostly sunny sky for Friday afternoon plans. Even warmer with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A strong fall cold front brings scattered showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And right now, it's 61 degrees and partly cloudy skies at WCAB. Looking for a cooler weekend on the way. Looking for overnight lows around 40 with daytime highs by Sunday only around 70 degrees. Well, on October the 12th, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office Criminal Apprehensive Team and Narcotics Task Force attempted to stop a vehicle for a traffic violation after the vehicle departed from 141 Switzer Drive in Forest City. Once the vehicle came to a stop, the passenger got out of the vehicle and started running away from the scene. Deputies identified him as Walter Ashley Littlejohn, Also known as Plum Crazy, Little John was wanted by the Department of Corrections for a parole violation. Rutherford County K-9 Kilo was used to track Mr. Little John. K-9 Kilo was successfully leading detectives to the residence he was hiding inside at 141 Switzer Drive. Mr. Littlejohn was located and subsequently arrested for the parole violation. Then on October the 13th, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office received a trespassing complaint at that same address. Road Patrol deputies, the Narcotics Task Force, and the Criminal Apprehensive Team responded to the location to investigate the complaint. The owner of the residence stated that several attempts have been made to get the occupants to vacate the premises due to drug use and other complaints. Upon arrival, deputies located 3 individuals that had broken into the residence and arrested them for breaking and entering and larceny of electrical power. K-9 Kilo also played an instrumental role in locating 354.1 grams of methamphetamine on the same property where the 3 subjects were arrested. The persons located and arrested for this activity were Dustin Vernon Lauder, breaking and entering, larceny of electrical power, trafficking methamphetamine; Alicia Danielle Early, breaking and entering, larceny of electrical power, possession of methamphetamine; Brooklyn Denise Carter, breaking and entering, larceny of electrical power, possession of heroin. Including in this message, pictures were posted to the Sheriff's Department website. Citizen complaints regarding drug activity are taken seriously by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, and investigators do appreciate the information that assists them in criminal case development, prosecution, as they work to make the county a safer place to live. If you have any information regarding criminal activity, you can make an anonymous report to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office by calling Crime Stoppers tip line at 828-286-TIPS. That's 828-286-8477. Well, human remains were found in a wooded area in Drexel over the weekend. Deputies with the Burke County Sheriff's Office were dispatched at 4:20 p.m. on Saturday to 3570 Oak Drive in Drexel to investigate what appeared to be human remains found by local residents in a wooded area, according to a release from the Sheriff's Office. Burke County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and the medical examiner were all dispatched to the scene. The medical examiner verified that the remains were human. The remains will be submitted for forensic analysis, were recovered by the Sheriff's Office and the SBI, the release said. No identifying information about the person who was found dead was available on Monday, but the Sheriff's Office said more information will be available when it is known. The Burke County Sheriff's Office Investigations Division has been investigating reports of missing people in the area over the last several months, the release said. More information will be published as it becomes soon available. And speaking of missing persons, Morganton officers are looking for a woman who was last seen Saturday. Amber Joy Zarimba, 37, described as a 5' 1 inch white female, blonde hair, brown eyes, weighs about 130 pounds, according to a Facebook post from the Morganton Department of Public Safety. She was last seen around 5 p.m. on Saturday at Taco Bell on Burkmont Avenue in Morganton. She told the person who reported her missing that she was trying to get a ride to Hickory. It's unclear what clothing that she was wearing at a time, according to the report. Anyone with any information is asked to call the Morganton Police Department at 828-437-1211. A silver alert has also been issued for a Grover woman. The North Carolina Center for Missing Persons issued a silver alert for Harley Leanne O'Connor on Sunday. O'Connor is 20, 5'7", white female weighing roughly 200 pounds. She is believed to be suffering from dementia or some other cognitive disability. She was last seen at 1106 Cleveland Avenue in Grover. Any information about Harley Leanne O'Connor, please call Chase Falero at the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office at 704-484-4822. And the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's assistance in locating a missing juvenile, Mackenzie Rose Caldwell. Mackenzie was last seen at her home on Free Will Baptist Church Road in Bostic on September the 29th. She is a 16-year-old white female with long brown hair, hazel eyes. She's 5'3", weighs about 105 pounds. A clothing description was not available. However, she does have long neon green-colored fingernails. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Mackenzie, please call the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office at 286-2911. And Polk County Asheville authorities are looking for a missing 14-year-old. Morgan Pridemore was last seen Saturday night, September the 18th, at around 10 p.m. in the Winston Avenue area of Asheville. She's about 5'3", 135 pounds, sandy blonde, light brown hair with temporary purple dye in her hair. She has blue-green eyes, also has a nose piercing. She was known to have visited the Ramada by Wyndham at 148 River Ford Parkway in Asheville prior to September the 11th. Now, she does have family in Polk County, Rutherford, and in Buncombe counties. Anyone with any information about the whereabouts of Morgan Pridemore, you're please asked to contact Officer Chris Strumolo with the Asheville City Police Department at 828-252-1110 or the Polk County Division of Social Services at 828-894-2100 Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 894-0188 after hours. Well, almost a full year removed from one of Charlotte's deadliest, the city looks to be trending in the right direction. Police Chief Johnny Jennings said last year at this time, we were at a point where we were very concerned with our homicide rate. Jennings said during the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Weekly News Conference on Wednesday, from January to September, overall crimes in Charlotte-Mecklenburg fell 4% from the same period a year ago. Violent crimes fell 3%, he said. Charlotte ended 2020 with 121 homicides, one shy of 1993 record of 122. The city's population has more than doubled since 1993, the Observer previously reported. For the third quarter, Charlotte saw an 18% decrease compared to a year ago, according to police. Still, Jennings said that the department remains concerned with the current numbers, but believes the city will end the year on a positive note if the number of homicides continues to decrease. Jennings said he could not attribute the increase in violent crime a year ago to the COVID-19 pandemic, but he's more receptive to the idea now as Charlotte begins to open up. He said as kids are back in school and people are back to work, I think creates less opportunities for some of these criminal activities that they've seen, he said. Youth and violent crimes like NASCAR on the road, extreme speeding increasingly brings death to North Carolina highways. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police hopes to continue to address more violent crimes and homicides involving youths. One of the city's 74 homicides through Monday, 10 victims are age 17 and under. Police said a 15-year-old boy was shot while outside his West Charlotte home Tuesday night, and a source close to the investigation told the Observer at around 11:58 p.m. police responded to an assault with a deadly weapon in the 600 block of Fairview Avenue. Officers arrived on the scene and found a teenager with a gunshot wound. He's in the hospital with life-threatening injuries, police said. We're still seeing the young people who are dying violently, and we're still seeing young people who are committing violent acts, Jennings said. Until we can get some sort of resolution and make sure we're not seeing our victims and our suspects continue to get younger and younger, that'll continue to be a high initiative for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. Officers have seized 2,260 guns as evidence through the first 3 quarters of our crime gun suppression team, removed 113 of those guns and made 126 arrests this year. Guns and a pledge. Now, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department reported a 35% increase in the seizure of illegal guns compared to a year ago. The department has seized 2,260 illegal guns this year. They do have an issue with guns being out on the street. We do not have an issue with people resorting to guns to deal with violent criminal acts. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department joined a nationwide initiative called the 30 by 30 Pledge, which aims to increase the representation of women in police recruit classes by 30% by the year 2030. There's currently 15% female officers in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. We'll have more right after this.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continuing to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith's Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith's Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recalled devices. Just call the Home Medical Department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591.
You know, there is a lot of misleading information about Medicaid eligibility. The Arledge Law Firm would like for you to know the truth. For instance, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your home. That's not true. Another one is, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. Again, not true. And this big one, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. Not true, not true, not true. Call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm and get free consultation and learn the truth. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify for nursing home care and not lose everything you own. It's worth a call to Arledge Law Firm at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton.
For a delicious meal every day, call on Gregory's Original. Choose from their top menu of burgers, subs, grinders, pasta dishes, fresh salads, and so much more. All dishes are prepared fresh daily. Hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., Saturday, noon until 9 p.m. Now at Gregory's, try the family-style meals. The dining room is now open, but curbside and takeout is still available. Enjoy lunch or dinner today with your favorite meal from Gregory's. Call 287-2171, located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherford's Gregory's Original.
Well, repeating a story that we did yesterday with more information, a man is in custody after a shooting Tuesday morning that prompted an elementary school to go on lockdown briefly as a school nurse tended to the victim. That, according to the Spartanburg Police and a school spokesperson. Major Art Littlejohn said police responded to a shooting at Arbor Glen Apartments on Fernwood-Glenwood Road at around 9:35 a.m., according to a statement. While officers were en route, the victim walked from the apartment complex to Jesse Boyd Elementary School across the road seeking help, according to police. There, medical staff and others called 911 and tended to the victim until EMS arrived. The victim suffered a single gunshot wound to his lower right side and was transported to Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. Now, Spartanburg School District 7 spokeswoman Beth Lancaster said one of the school nurses applied pressure to the victim's wound until EMS arrived. Police said the victim told them he had been shot by his stepfather. Officers set up a perimeter, and around 10:20 a.m., the suspect, Sammy Lee Ellis Jr., was located in the breezeway near the 200 building of the apartment complex. Littlejohn said the school was placed on temporary lockdown until the area was deemed safe. Lancaster said that staff members and parents were notified about the incident as it was unfolding. The victim had been transported by ambulance, and the school was on lockdown as law enforcement looked for the suspect. A school memo stated the school is secure and none of the students were in danger. Afterward, Lancaster praised the school staff. Our Jesse Boyd staff handled the situation beautifully, remaining calm, focused, and acting decisively as they followed a protocol. She said, we thank them for their leadership throughout this situation. Littlejohn added the investigation is ongoing and any information can be given anonymously by calling Crime Stoppers at 188-CRIME-SC or the Spartanburg Police Department. A former utility executive who lied to ratepayers and regulators, costing billions of dollars after he found a pair of nuclear reactors being built in South Carolina were hopelessly behind schedule, will soon be heading to prison for 2 years. A state judge on Monday accepted the negotiated sentence of former SCANA CEO executive Kevin Marsh. He is the first executive to go to prison over the project, which lasted 9 years and never generated a watt of power. Marsh has cooperated with investigators, spending at least 7 days talking to the FBI, prosecutors said. A CEO for a Fortune 500 company is going to prison and is paying $5 million to the people of South Carolina, State Attorney General Alan Wilson said outside the Spartanburg County courtroom. Under the agreement, Marsh is to report in early December to a federal prison in Butner, North Carolina, which includes a large hospital rather than a state facility. He will serve the entire federal 2-year federal sentence. South Carolina Circuit Judge Mark Hayes suspended a 10-year sentence, but told Marsh he will have to serve if he does not keep cooperating or fails to successfully serve 3 years of probation. Marsh is not the only executive facing legal problems. A second former SCANA executive and an official at Westinghouse Electric Company, a lead contractor to build 2 new reactors at the VC Summer plant north of Columbia, have also pleaded guilty. A second Westinghouse executive has been indicted and is awaiting trial. Prosecutors now are expected to turn their attention to Westinghouse. While Marsh lied about the lack of progress in the final years of construction of the reactors, Westinghouse knew of the problem long before and did not tell Marsh or other SCANA executives, U.S. Assistant Attorney Brooke Andrews said at Marsh's sentencing Thursday in federal court. Marsh's lawyer told the judge, and by extension the public, to remember that this should not be the end. They said that a project like this doesn't go down the tubes because one person was involved, that according to defense attorney Robert Bolshet, who compared Marsh to a captain of a ship who trusted a crew working against him. Marsh pleaded guilty in federal court in February to conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud and in a state court to obtaining property by false pretenses. The nuclear debacle was set up by a law passed in 2007 that allowed utilities to charge ratepayers to build power plants before they started generating power. It divorced the risk from the people who were spending the money, State Assistant Attorney General Crichton Waters said. You won if you won, and if you won, if you lost. If the project was a failure and you abandoned it, you still got to recoup that cost from customers. That put a lot of responsibility on Marsh as the leader of the SCANA, and he failed by keeping his mouth shut when problems mounted and collecting bonuses instead of risking jobs, Waters said. Marsh made $5 million in 2017, the year the utility abandoned the hopelessly behind schedule project. His plea agreement requires $5 million in restitution, which has already been paid to a fund that provides to help pay electric bills of low-income families. The actions by Marsh and other executives took more than $1 billion from the pockets of ratepayers and investors, authorities said in an 87-page Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit filed against him and a second executive in 2020. SCA&A is a subsidiary. South Carolina Electric and Gas were destroyed by the debt and poor management and were bought out by Dominion Energy of Virginia in 2019. State-owned utility Santee Cooper, which has a 45% stake in the project, ended up saddled with a $4 billion debt, even though SCA&A controlled management of the project. Marsh read a brief statement in court Monday, similar to the one he read in federal court on Thursday. He said a day's not gone by in the past 4 years that he did not regret the failure of that project. He said, "I accept full responsibility. I feel sorry for everything that occurred." Marsh's original plea deal said sentencing would wait until the investigation was over to assure his full cooperation, but prosecutors relented after Marsh's wife of 46 years was diagnosed with incurable breast cancer. Marsh never wavered from saying the 2 reactors being built at the VC Summer site north of Columbia would be finished by the end of 2020, a deadline that had to be met to receive the $1.4 billion in federal tax credits needed to keep the $10 billion project from overwhelming the utility. The things that happen behind our backs. Well, coming up Friday night, we've got high school football Friday night, our featured game of the week. If you've got one of our schedules from the newspaper, our 2020 Foothills News Journal, our featured game would be Chase at Polk County. We have changed our game. Our featured game will be Thomas Jefferson at Cherryville with a 7 o'clock countdown to kickoff, 7:30 kickoff. However, Chase will be at Polk County. Other games, Asheville, AC Reynolds will be at RS Central. McDowell will be at Asheville High. East Gaston at Burns. Gastonia Forest View at Crest. Bessemer City will be at Shelby. Well, let's see what else we got to talk about. Well, we've talked about the weather. Got our news in. Coming up this morning, My Great America. Of course, Jim won't be here to do the program with Butch, so Butch will be here to, or be on the phone calling the program and probably be doing it live. Well, in 1926, Winnie the Pooh book was released. 1884, George Eastman patents paper strip photo film. In 1892, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle published The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. To this day, many movies and books and TV shows have been based on the stories of Sherlock Holmes. 1978, first movie from a TV series released, Gilligan's Island. 1979, Wayne Gretzky scored his first goal. 1939, BMI was formed. 1964, of course, Martin Luther King Jr. won the Nobel Peace Prize. 1957, the Everly Brothers' Wake Up Little Susie reached number 1. Famous birthdays today, Usher, the R&B singer, he's 43 today, and designer Ralph Lauren, who has all that good smelly perfume and men's cologne, also celebrating a birthday today.
This is 100.9 FM and the mighty 590. The best of both worlds. Rutherfordton.
Attention, we're here to fight back against false reporting done by background screening companies. Did you lose a job due to an inaccurate First Advantage report? Have you been denied credit or had to pay higher interest rates on a loan due to unknown errors on your background check? Then we can help you. If you had a background check from First Advantage from November 2020 to August 2021 that involved fingerprints, you could receive a free cash award. The lawsuit claims consumers who took a First Advantage fingerprint background check were then falsely reported as having a criminal record or errors on their credit report. You could have been denied without even knowing the reason. If you had a First Advantage background check November 2020 to August 2021, call the IPG Law Group now for a free case review. 800-296-1575. 800-296-1575. 800-296-1575. That's 800-296-1575.
Well, for about 6 minutes, we're going to say goodbye to our folks who are watching us by streaming, but we'll be back in time for that My Great America with Butch, and we will have that right after ABC News at 9 o'clock. Going to throw in a couple of songs, take us up to the top of the hour. Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
Sherry Preston. For the first time since the start of the pandemic, the number of people filing for first-time unemployment benefits is below 300,000. ABC's Jim Ryan has more on what it means.
In all, 293,000 people filed paperwork for the first time. That's down 36,000 from the week before. And the Labor Department points out the lowest figure since March 14th of last year. The reduction in jobless benefits claims comes despite a separate report showing that a record number of Americans, 4.3 million, quit their jobs in August.
Thousands of union workers across the country are either off the job or threatening to walk. They say they have seen their companies rake in profits in recent years, while their pay and benefit packages have only gotten smaller. Senior citizens could see a bump of $90 more per month in their Social Security checks on average. ABC's Deirdre Bolton says it's to offset the effects of inflation.
Prices have been rising for gas, groceries, and insurance, all of which crunch senior citizens on fixed incomes. The cost of living increase is calculated based on a formula of what we all pay for everyday items. Just yesterday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said that prices are up 5.4% over the last year, the highest increase since the 2008 financial crisis.
Authorities in Norwegian authorities are now labeling a deadly bow and arrow attack at a store south of Oslo, Norway, an act of terror.
4 women and a man were killed. They were all aged between 50 and 70, and the 2 people who were wounded, they're both in intensive care right now. One of them was an off-duty police officer who happened to be in the store shopping at the time.
That's ABC's James Longman. The White House denying a claim from former President Trump to declare executive privilege over documents related to the January 6th riot. Today, a Biden administration commission will release initial findings on the possibility of transforming the Supreme Court, including the possibility of expanding the number of justices. You're listening to ABC News.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Tensions are rising along Israel's northern border with Lebanon after strikes being blamed on the U.S. and Israel. ABC's Jordana Miller has a story from Jerusalem.
Hezbollah and other Iranian-backed militias in Syria threatening a, quote, very harsh response. That after deadly airstrikes in homes in Palmyra that they blame on Israel and the U.S. An alliance of pro-Iranian militias say several members were killed in the airstrikes, one hitting the T4 air base. That attack, they say, originated from the Al-Tanf U.S. military base. The U.S. and Israel are not commenting, but Israel has previously admitted attacking the T4 air base. Jerusalem is taking Hezbollah's threat seriously. The airspace above the Golan Heights closed for at least 24 hours. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Federal investigators are opening up an investigation into the treatment and possible abuse of young offenders in the Texas criminal justice system. The allegations are coming from inside correctional facilities in Texas. For the youngest offenders, some say they're terrifying. Staff members have reportedly paid children with drugs, according to officials, and cash to assault other children. Kristen Clark is an assistant attorney general for civil rights in Texas. She says all 5 of the juvenile lockups in the state are under a federal microscope and that 11 staff members have been arrested on charges of sexually abusing children in their custody. This is ABC News.
500,000 businesses connect using Zoom, a single platform for video, phone, chat, and conference rooms. Zoom enables real-time collaboration no matter where your teams are. Global enterprises trust the easy-to-use, reliable, and secure Zoom platform to power high-performance teams. Empower your workforce with Zoom. Save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're seeing some patchy fog for your morning commute. Otherwise, a mostly clear start to your day. This afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky with highs today warmer back in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight. We're in the low 60s Friday morning. We'll see a mostly sunny sky for Friday afternoon plans. Even warmer with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A strong fall cold front brings scattered showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
Well, this is Butch, and it's just going to be Butch alone today on My Great America with Jim. And Butch, you know, my dear partner Jim has had to endure a lot of my travel here and there in recent months, and today I have the opportunity to not do a monologue, but have a conversation with you about freedom. And I decided this morning to do something kind of different. I'm down at Kiwanis Park. If you have not been here, it is an absolute treasure for Rutherford County. I'm sitting here. Nobody is here right now except for some walkers that are doing the circuitous route, getting their exercise. The grass is stunningly green. The sun is coming through the trees. There's kind of a foggy mist that's still there. I'm looking at the little pavilion. This is an absolutely gorgeous treasure for Rutherford County. And if you've not come down here, there's a phenomenal, just beautiful little fort and playground area for the children. You've got a covered bridge over this little creek. It is just stunning. You got dogs barking in the background. It's a stunningly beautiful jewel and treasure right here in Rutherford County. And so I decided, since it was just going to be me alone on the program today, I was going to get my cup of coffee, have some prayer, reflect on some scriptures, and ask God to help me help you come to understand why freedom is so important and worth fighting for. And so today, in our few moments together, I want to start out by saying I'm expecting all of you to seriously consider, to prayerfully consider coming to the Stand for Freedom rally and march. It's going to feature Congressman Madison Cawthorn. It's going to be this Saturday, October 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It's a peaceful rally focused on things that we're for, meaning freedom. It's going to start in front of the Cool Springs Education Building. That's at 382 West Main Street in Forest City. You know where that is. And right after the initial rally, we're going to march down Main Street towards the pavilion on Park Square, often referred to as Pops. Let me just remind you, it's the Stand for Freedom Rally for March. It's featuring, among others, Congressman Madison Cawthorn. It's this Saturday, October 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And as I said, this is not a march against anything. It is a peaceful rally and march for what? A declaration that America was founded with freedom as our North Star. And whatever your perspectives are on a lot of different issues that we're facing right now, this is not an anti-mask, anti-vaccination, anti-Democratic Party, anti-Joe Biden march and rally. It's not that at all. We're flying at a higher level and a higher altitude and frankly, a more righteous place of saying it's time to declare again what America is all about. And you cannot read history books, at least the ones that I grew up with. You can't read history books without understanding that the fight for freedom is what America was all about. And listen, you're never going to hear me say, I was with my dear friend at church last night, R.J. Aiken, dear young African-American leader in the mentoring community in Rutherford County. He too is a treasure. And you know what? I have a lot of relationships in Rutherford County going on 4 years now. In about 3 weeks, it will be 4 years since God in his providence and plan brought Butch Maltby, a wreck of a person, to Rutherford County to find hope and healing, deliverance, reconciliation on so many different levels. God did that for me, and my heart and hope is to build bridges, not walls, in Rutherford County. To what end?
to the end of what God has called us to. He's called us to be righteous instruments of peace and love, encouragement, truth, deliverance, all of those things. And we can't give what we don't have. And so I'm asking you to practically put on your calendar coming this Saturday to the Stand for Freedom Rally and March. It's going to feature Congressman Madison Cawthorn. Listen, he is a firebrand. He's only 26 years old. You know his story. He went through the tragic automobile accident that resulted in his paralysis. But you know what? In the face of a lot of criticism, he's somebody that has said it's time for us to refound, if you will, America, declare again our first freedoms. And he's agreed. He was going to be at a breakfast. And when he saw that there was going to be a rally and a peaceful march that was going to take place, he wanted to be a part of that. And so he and his team have made arrangements for him to come. We're hoping that we'll have young and old, that you'll come with patriotic attire, that you'll come with flags of the United States and banners. We know we're going to have some people that have flags and banners that say, "Don't tread on me," and "Freedom isn't free." And you know what? Come with patriotic attire. You know, it'll be like a 4th of July event in some respects, only here in October. And again, it's October 16th, Stand for Freedom Rally and March, 10 until noon. It's going to be in front. We're going to start in front of the Cool Springs Education Building at 382 West Main Street, Forest City. And after the initial rally, we're all going to march down together. Some might even be motorized wheelchairs. We're trying to get some of the veterans to come as well. Wear your caps and your indication of service, whatever branch of service you might have been in. And we all together are going to walk arm in arm. And you know what? I'm going to put out a call for independents and Democrats to come as well. This is not a time for us to be sectarian and partisan. It's a time for us to lock arms and say, we're Americans, red and yellow, black and white, every different stripe and color and ethnicity and background. You know, my great-grandparents came over from Sweden. Yeah, they did. They came through Ellis Island, located up in New England, in the Concord, New Hampshire area. My grandmother, we called her Moo Moo. She was one of 14 children. My great-grandfather came over. He was a tailor. He made clothes, went to law school, learned English. That was the first thing that he did. From his records that are written, that are shared, was my considerably large family. Learned English, went to law school at night. You know, he had that American grit, that new American grit that said, you know what, it's possible for me to accomplish things, have religious freedom, and do it in a land of the free. Now, listen, our history is stained with some terrible circumstances, awful prejudice, and things that we don't feel good about. And if you don't acknowledge that, you're not acknowledging the truth of history. But we can't get stuck there. And the whole woke movement tries to get us stuck. It doesn't illuminate. It tries to create a sense of guilt, tries to create a sense of shame, and all of those things are not taking us forward. You know what takes us forward? It takes us forward when you take your sectarian politics, your partisan politics, and you take your holster and your gun and you put it on the wall and you say what's most important is to celebrate our freedoms. And we're living in a day and age, folks, I'm telling you this, whatever your political opinions are, we're living in a day and age, I made reference to this on our last program on Tuesday, where it's like the frog in the kettle. And the heat is being turned up. We have individual liberties that are being stripped away slowly. What happens? The latitudes of acceptance broaden, and all of a sudden they take away this, and they take away this, and they mandate this, and they mandate that, and all of a sudden you have a populace that says, you know what, it's just what the government does. They're looking out for us. Well, you know what? That's not what this country was founded on. Individual liberty, the right to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of individual happiness is the DNA of our nation. It wasn't a collective. It wasn't a sense of let's create governmentally mandated social responsibility. We stand before our maker alone. We don't stand with a group. We don't stand with a political party. We don't stand with our pastor. We don't stand with our friends. It says in Scripture, it's appointed unto man or woman once to die, and after that, the judgment. And if you're a faith-driven person, you believe in the power and the authority of God expressed through his only Son, Jesus Christ, we know that what we do with our time, our talent, and our treasure matters for eternity. So make a difference, if you will, in our community. Come out this Saturday for the Stand for Freedom Rally and March. It's going to feature Congressman Madison Cawthorn. Saturday, October 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We're going to be in front of the Cool Springs Education Building. After the initial rally, we're going to march down Main Street towards the pavilion on Park Square. All of the approvals have come in from Forest City. We've got that. We'll have security there as needed. It's going to be peaceful. I'm sure we'll have some media there. Come be a part of making America great. You know, I've been reflecting a lot on freedom and what freedom in America really means. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. You know, 2 of our adult children are adopted. We adopted our son from Korea. Been to Korea a number of times. Samuel is his name. He was a baby when we adopted him. I actually flew to Korea to get Samuel. He was 7 months old, and that was me, you know, a young dad, changing his diaper on the plane, you know, rocking him in my arms on that long flight from Seoul to Tokyo, and from Tokyo to San Francisco, and from San Francisco to Chicago, and from Chicago to Norfolk, Virginia Beach, where we lived at the time, where I was the vice president for Pat Robertson out at CBN and Regent University. I will never forget the feeling of holding my young son in my arms. You know, he's in medical school now. Just finished his 4th year. He's about to do his residency match. He's looking at a lot of different residency programs around the country. He's done very, very well. One of them is UNC, so if it's God's will, the hope would be that he might be closer. But, you know, he was liberated. He was liberated from being an orphan and brought into a family and brought into America, and now he's going to be a doctor. We have another child. She's an adult daughter. Her name was Tatiana Rudinkina. She was an orphan in orphanage number 17, south of Moscow. 283 children crammed into that orphanage like sardines. She never knew the taste of freedom. She was 6 years old when she came to be with us. I remember when I went to get her. I've been in Russia a number of times doing work with American Bible Societies and United Bible Societies. God privileged me with the opportunity to be part of the initial strategy after the fall of the wall in Eastern Europe. And when Russia opened itself up, I was part of a team working with the Bible Society of Russia and some of the dignitaries that were involved in the underground church. And we set up the strategies to get Bibles into places all across the former Soviet Union, including places like Yakutia, up in up north by the Siberian Circle. God's given me a lot of opportunities through the years like that. But you know what? It was a salutary exercise to fly into the Moscow airport, get my translator, her name was Katya, and go to that orphanage where data suggests more than 80% of all young girls that are not adopted, when they're put out of the orphanage at 18, they become hard currency prostitutes. Many of the orphan boys with no family, no context, no freedom, no sense of a positive new direction, end up as alcoholics and die young. The mortality rates in Russia are horrific, absolutely horrific. And yet this young little girl, Tatiana, on the day that I went to get her, to get what? To get the freedom, to secure freedom to come to the United States of America. That young girl, on the day that I went to pick her up, I've shared this story before, she had been living in a room with 22 other orphans that were side by side in beds. She had one basic outfit that she wore. She was severely malnourished. The children were living a squalid kind of life. But when I picked her up that day, they said, come during the nap time because we're concerned about what the other children will think. They're not going anywhere. And as we came to the front door on that snowy day in November, when she was 6 years old, she's 30 now, all of a sudden we could hear a muffled set of cries coming through the cavernous orphanage. And a little boy came running around the corner as we were about to step out the front door. And he was crying and sobbing and saying something in Russian over and over and over again. And I turned to my translator, Katya, and I said, Katya, what is he saying? And she said, he's saying, Butch, Papa, when will you come for me? The hunger for freedom all around the world is so deep, and the hunger pangs of people that have never known freedom is something we should never take for granted. You have the opportunity to suit up and show up and be a part of Rutherford County saying, it's not that we're demonstrating or rallying against things. We are putting our stake in the ground again, that freedom is not free, that the government does not have the right to navigate every part of our life, and that in the midst of all of the noise, the chaos, the cacophony of voices claiming to be experts on how individuals and their families should live, we are not going to roll over and say whatever the government tells us to do, we will do. It is not in the fabric of America to do so, which is why Jim and I are expecting you to be there on this Saturday. Now, let me talk a little bit about freedom. You know, you miss so much, so many of the leaders that have now passed on and gone before us, but we do well to look back over our shoulder and remember leaders in our nation of every stripe, color, and even political persuasion who have reminded us of what freedom means in America. Martin Luther King said, freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. You know, I like what Ronald Reagan said once. He said, freedom is never more than one generation. You've heard this. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for and protected and handed on for them to do the same. You know, I'm a grandfather now. I have 7 grandsons, 4 adult children, 3 daughters, and 1 son. That's my little legacy. That's the progeny. As it says in Scripture, those are the arrows in my quiver. And I will not, on my watch, let America stagger like a drunken sailor from one side of the road to the other, eroding everything that has made America great. I will not do it, whatever the cost. And you need to take consideration of your legacy, too, your children, your grandchildren. You know, like Jim Bishop, he's a great-grandfather now. We're responsible for the shape of the nation that we leave those that we love that are around us. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. Thomas Jefferson, you know, iconic American leader, one of the founders. You know, I went to graduate school at the University of Virginia. His fingerprints are all over that beautiful campus that's there. Thomas Jefferson said, men fight for freedom, then they begin to accumulate laws to take it away from themselves. Is that not true? Look at what has happened with the gorged, obese government bureaucracy that we have. You know, you look at some of the spending that we do in this nation. You know, it wasn't too many years ago that there was $26 million that was spent on a line item tucked away in some budget that nobody read. This is just an example. I can give hundreds of them. The line item in the U.S. budget, which came from tax dollars, that came from where? Your hard work. $26.2 million for what? Studying the mating habits of African leopard frogs. Are you kidding me? Now, don't get me going. With Jim not here today, I could be tempted to become a little bit more like Jim Bishop. But, you know, the reality is Thomas Jefferson said we begin to accumulate laws to take away freedoms from ourselves. And that's exactly what has happened. You know, Nelson Mandela said once, for to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedoms of others. And, of course, his life is inimitable. It's a reflection of exactly what it took place in a nation that had terrible, terrible institutional racism. You talk about what took place in South Africa. You know what I love about Kiwanis Park? This is a radio program that I'm doing. No, it's good. Yeah, it's called My Great America. Folks, it's live right now too. So I'm on the radio.
Well, good morning.
Yes, hi. What's your name?
Sandra.
Sandra, and you're here with your caregiver?
Yes, I am.
And what are you doing?
Well, I'm walking, trying to lose weight.
That is, folks, you know what? We didn't know we were going to have a little interruption. And what is your name, ma'am?
Hi,
Hi, my name is Veronica King.
Veronica, and the two of you are out here walking. Well, you know what? This is My Great America with Jim Bishop and Butch, and it's
Nice to meet you.
WCAB, and we're live right now. So I just wanted to come over and say hello, and I hope and pray that your goals with whatever the walking is are ones that you meet, and you've got a sweet caregiver. I can tell.
Wonderful.
Okay,
And I've lost 1 pound.
you've lost 1 pound. Okay, there's a scripture that says, "Don't despise small beginnings." I think it's Zephaniah 4:11. Don't despise small beginnings. So you two have a blessed day. Okay.
Thank you very much. You do as well.
Okay, we weren't. You know what I love? We're small town friendly. Yes, we are. And so I saw them walking, and I said, we can take a little digression here. We've only got 5 minutes left, so let me get back to business. You know, Ronald Reagan also said, freedom is the very essence of our nation. To be sure, ours is not a perfect nation, but even with our troubles, we remain the beacon of hope for oppressed peoples everywhere. Never give up the fight for freedom. A fight which, though it may never end, is the most ennobling to man. And you know what? I watched Ronald Reagan in the declining years of his life, and you know what? He dealt with memory issues. He had Alzheimer's, of course, and he loved his horses. And you know, you watched a man ride into the sunset, metaphorically and otherwise. But you know what? He was a strong voice for freedom, and you can be too here in our county, which is why today's not an infomercial, but it's a recruitment effort. We want all of you to show up at the Stand for Freedom rally in March. It's going to feature Congressman Madison Cawthorn, Saturday, October 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It's going to be right there at the Cool Springs Education Building, and then after the rally, we're going to march down Main Street towards the pavilion on the Park Square. A couple other quotations about freedom. I've been doing my research, and these are things from my journal. John Stuart Mill said, "A man who has nothing for which he is willing to fight, nothing which is more important than his own personal safety, is a miserable creature and has no chance of being free unless made and kept so by the exertions of better men and women than himself." We cannot take freedom for granted. We cannot ever get up in the morning and say America runs on autopilot. It doesn't. The life and blood of our country, as I'm sitting here in Kiwanis Park, looking at this beautiful grass, people walking their dog, people walking with a caregiver trying to lose weight. You know, it's all about personal initiative. Fannie Lou Hamer said one time, sometimes it seems like to tell the truth today is to run the risk of being killed. But if I fail, I'll fall 5 feet 4 inches forward in the fight for freedom. I'm not backing off. And then finally, Zell Miller. Do you remember Zell Miller? Zell Bryan Miller was an American author, and he was a politician from the state of Georgia. He was a Democrat. He served as lieutenant governor from 1975 to 1991. He was the 79th governor of Georgia from 1991 to 1999, and a U.S. senator from 2000 to 2005. This is what he said. And this is why I want Democrats to show up, too, to the event this Saturday. He said, I can remember when Democrats believed that it was the duty of America to fight for freedom over tyranny. So we want independents, Republicans, and Democrats to come out this Saturday at the Stand for Freedom rally in March. It's going to feature Congressman Madison Cawthorn, among others. It's Saturday, October 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Peaceful rally starting in front of the Cool Springs Education Building, 382 West Main Street in Forest City. You know where it is. After the initial rally, we're going to march down Main Street towards the pavilion on Park Square. We want you to wear patriotic attire, bring signs supporting our freedoms, and this is very important, and I'll end with this. While you're downtown, consider supporting all the local businesses in downtown Forest City. One of the ways that you can put your stamp of approval on this county and encourage Forest City is after the rally is done, go buy things. Go patronize their services, their items. Just go to the businesses and encourage them through your purchases. That's how we can make a small step to make our county great. You know, folks, this has been a different kind of My Great America this morning, but you know what? We're informal, we're raw, we're real. Every Tuesday and Thursday from 9:05 to 9:30, My Great America, more than 120 episodes since we launched. It's our desire to be a bright light and beacon here in Rutherford County. And as we lock arms, hand in hand, and walk together, we will come to see that our nation, our state, and our county can be everything that God intended it to be. Have a blessed weekend. Come out this Saturday to the rally. I'll look forward to meeting and greeting you there. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM.